Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is, of course, the Life as a Chad YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. I want to keep this short and sweet. This is going to be titled The Libertarian Problem. And obviously, I'm not a libertarian. I have said in the last two videos that I am a paleo conservative. I like a few of the ideas or the principles of libertarianism, but overall, I see it as a pipe dream, and I see their unwillingness to see that it is a pipe dream as delusional as some of the ideas that the left has. I also understand that not all libertarians are right of center. There are some libertarians who are more left of center, and all of them would not vote Republican if there was no libertarian candidate on the ticket. And that is kind of the equation that we're working with here. What would happen if there was no libertarian candidate on the equation or on the ticket? How would they usually vote? Okay. I think it's highly likely that there's a good portion that would not vote. There's the leftist libertarians I've talked about, and then there's the right of center. I think some of them would vote conservative because realistically, that is the situation that we're in. The situation that we're in is that libertarians have no chance of winning any, besides maybe a few local elections. But as far as national or statewide, they have zero shot. And I got to tell you, I find it quite selfish how some of them vote. I really do. And I find it quite selfish how some of them answer to the fact that they get critiqued when they don't vote conservative. For example, Dave Smith. Dave Smith basically said, well, who the fuck are you guys to blame us for not voting conservative when you guys put shitty people on the ballot? Well, okay. But the same line of thinking can go towards your shitty libertarian candidate who you knew had no chance of winning. Okay. And here's the main thing. The two main things. I would love if some of them or a good portion of them would just be honest with themselves and realize that it is highly unlikely that any of them are going to win, and they would go with what they would consider the lesser of two evils. And I understand that too, because they really do see it as a lesser of two evils. And I can't say I fully disagree with them because, quite frankly, a lot of the Republicans, there's the joke that Republicans are Democrats just driving the speed limit. I understand that as well. And if you really do see it that way, that basically, if you vote for a Republican, you're basically voting for a Democrat, just not as courageous or with as big of balls to push the establishment status quo. I can understand that. I really can. But there still is a big difference. There still is a big difference between voting for a Republican driving the speed limit and voting for a liberal, because as much as libertarians say that they're all for fiscal responsibility, they still would rather vote for the libertarian who has no chance than the Republican or the Democrat. I mean, obviously they're not going to vote for the Democrat, but they would rather vote for the libertarian who has no chance of winning as opposed to the conservative who they know will more or less be fiscally responsible or more responsible than the liberal. If that's really how you're looking at it, then you should vote for the conservative, because if you don't and you vote for the libertarian who your person has no chance of winning, you're basically giving your vote up to the liberal who is not going to be fiscally conservative. The second main point that bugs the shit out of me about libertarians, or more specifically conservatives or conservative YouTube creators or content creators, is how much conservatives will have libertarians on their show and they will use their precious airtime, their precious hours that they could use promoting our, worldview. They share it with some of these libertarians who give zero fucks in return, who give zero help in return. In fact, they actually negatively hurt us in the elections. So I think conservatives, especially conservative content creators, should fucking stop giving libertarians all this airtime or this free airtime just because when we're getting nothing in return from them. In fact, they are negatively hurting us. I'm not silly enough to think that if a good portion of them, if there was no libertarian on the ballot, that all of them would have voted conservative or had even voted at all. Obviously, not all of them would vote conservative. I realize that. Some of them would not vote at all. Some of them would vote left. I get it. But elections are really close, and they're usually down. It's usually most national races are decided anywhere from 10 to 30, 10 to 50,000 votes. Okay. So I'm just tired of, libertarians are basically like the kid at the fucking playground who, isn't doing anything to progress anything, but they are willfully just being a stubborn asshole to not, allow anything to be accomplished just because they like being the fucking odd man out, even though they deep down, they know their position is delusional. And it is. Make no mistake. I guarantee I'll have some libertarians, jumping into this and saying, oh, fucking, your thing is, see, look at this. Mark Victor, he got 41,000 votes. Okay. Again, it wouldn't have made all the difference, but it would have made a difference. It is delusional because, again, the non-aggression principle, I mean, come on, guys. You really think anybody in a given society is going to adhere to the non-aggression principle just because? Please, the fuck is this? The fuck is this? So, I mean, that's the main thing. Like I said, there's some things, freedoms, being fiscally conservative, small government that I do like. I'm just not all the way there with them. And human nature is aggressive, especially with men. And you're not going to get that type of society. And, some of them are not even libertarians. They're anarchists, which means they think they're libertarians, but in reality, they are purposefully and willfully trying to speed up, aka Michael Malice, the destruction of America, the collapse of America, which I'm not totally against myself, but I lean more towards trying to fight and win this thing and saving something. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think of libertarians and how they vote in the elections. I find it very interesting indeed. Let's check the gubernatorial real quick. Yeah, every year it fucking annoys me to no end seeing these libertarians voting for these people who they aren't close to at all. They're closer, as I've said, to conservatives almost all the way around. Here, let's check the gubernatorials. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Obviously, like, comment, share. You know the fucking drill. Thank you guys for all of your support. It takes 1.25 seconds to subscribe. I don't know why it's not showing. Here, let's do this. Wow, that race is neck and neck. 49.58% to she's down by 16,000 votes. Dang. All right, guys. Last but not least, D-BAP. Don't be a pussy willow and fox our feelings because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Mahala. Bye-bye.